Alright, so a couple quick things. I sanded out where I put in the dowels to make those nice and smooth. And I did it on both sides because in the event things need to come together tightly, it won't impact that. I jumped ahead and I'm going to show you here real quick. Here is the tail. And I jumped way ahead. I already applied the tail. There are three components. You have the rudder, you have the elevator, and the elevator reinforcement here. So again, rudder here, the elevator, and the elevator enforcement. And I sanded the edges in all places except where it'll be ultimately hidden. So rounded all the edges all the way around on the rudder and on the elevator. And just on the one side of the reinforcement here for the elevator. So that is already done. I've already jumped way ahead and glued this. The one thing is after you round and before you glue together, you need to cut this saw cut because sheet metal or the metal from the kit is going to go inside here. So you got to make sure you get that cut. So I used the pattern. I marked with a nail, kind of a hole here, and ultimately a series of holes. Then I drew a pencil line, and then on my table saw, I just followed the line and cut that out so that would be available. After I was done with that, I glued these three together. I don't have an official vise. I have some clamps here hooked up to my wood, and I was able to get it put together. So I just finished gluing. These pieces were extremely tight. I had my wife help pull on the elevator while I pushed this in, and I had a soft tapping hammer to help kind of push this in all the way. One of the things that you need to do though is do a dry fit, because the sides are actually going to fit in right over here like so. Now, I don't have the room and ceiling room right now to show you how that all fits right now, but this is essentially going to go in. Well, let's see if I can do it. You can see that is how these will ultimately going to fit together. So alright, so you have to do a dry fit to make sure things are fitting together nicely, and this is going to butt up against that. So, and this will ultimately be screwed in. So that is how all of these pieces are ultimately going to come together. Fuselage assembly will come shortly. One other thing that he recommends is that you make sure that the tail has 90 degrees in it. So we will double check that.